Hey guys, so today we have a quick repaint or touch up video for the Cyber Era Rift, which is these figures over here as you can see. So if you have not seen these figures before, just check out my review for the Cyber Era, codename CE-05 for Rift. This one is essentially a KO version from another third-party mold, the Metagate Rift G01, because as you can see in here, he has a lot of gray plastic part. Or this arm come off as well. So I'm just gonna do some touch up for those specific areas so that we have more accurate colors, as well as you can see that the fingers here, they all just bare gray plastic color, and then there's some joints in here with bare plastic color as well. In overall, they just don't match up that well. I figures that a little touch up can have this guy look better. Okay, so to do that, I guess because the arm already come up, let's take off this arm as well. And then take off the head as well, so we can paint those parts more easily. And then can expose some of the joints that we need to paint here as well. Okay, just leave that in there. Maybe take off his weapon as well. Let's see, the leg. I think the leg can stay on. Okay. So for my painting process, let's go over what we need. So firstly, I have this tray over here, this cup over here with other material. So basically in here, what I like to do first is to use permanent marker to paint over the joint first. So this will be our first layer of paint. And then I'll use acrylic colors, meaning those color over here. For example, this one is acrylic metallic paint, basically just a silver color. Acrylic paint is the type of paint that you would like to paint on your plastic figures so that they actually stay on the plastic surface. And acrylic paint can be washed off fairly easily with water if you make the mistake as well, so it's easier for beginner. And this same brand, same type of acrylic paint, just different colors. This one is black as opposed to the previous one, which is silver. And then I also have another brand here. If you would like to see more of repaint type of videos, you can check out my other video as well, the previous one, which I talk about all of this paint in more intricate details. Over here I have just acrylic paint from a different brand. This one is rusty colors. We can use this to do some touch up in some small area as well. They can make the detail tops a little more. So the first step, we would need an empty tray like this as well. You can use anything that you have available. Basically the tray will have us have a place to actually put our acrylic paint into. But because the first step is to use permanent marker, so we don't need the acrylic paint to be in there right now. Let's see, so this is another permanent marker Sharpie, just regular Sharpie black. I'll use this first because in the movie design, Rift look essentially black in most places, especially when you look at the Studio Series figures. He has mostly just black and blue, so that's why I'm gonna go with black for the joints that we have in here. I think that black will make a good base color. So for that, you just basically just use your permanent marker and then just paint it right over the plastic part that we want to color. Fairly simple. So as you can see, I'm using just the permanent marker black and then just try to touch under the area that I could touch. Of course, there's just a lot of plastic surface that is in smaller area that I could not really reach with just using these permanent marker tips, but try to paint as much as you can as the base, and then later we'll use acrylic paint with a brush and then go into the other places that we cannot touch right now. So doing the same things here. Just use your permanent marker, paint over the plastic part. Like that. Okay. Fairly decent. Okay, and then the neck in here as well. neck. It's just basically a plastic rod with bare plastic color. Paint that over. I just noticed that these figures have a very long neck. As you can see in here, the plastic rod is like very long, and when you put the head on, it's still very noticeable in some angle. Okay, so there is that, and then down here as well we have the joints on the leg. Go in here. Oh yeah, these figures can come off very easily, so let's use that to our advantage. So the joints are exposed in here. Let me rotate the joint, can reach more area. We want our figure to look more accurate, they have to mostly cover this plastic color. The arm that we have not painted yet, so same thing. Basically just use permanent marker and then paint over this part. Now let me rotate this down so that we can expose the joint, and then just use permanent marker, go in and then colors over. Now let's bring out our acrylic paint. You see that we have some towers here so that the paint won't get over the place. It's easier to clean up later. So in here you see that I don't really have any paint right now. Just try to put in the first one we need is of course silver. Like clearly we still have not have this color, and because we are painting robot model, so it doesn't surprise us for them to have silver color. Okay, so now put in a little black. Boom. Just one row of black. I think that's enough for now. If we need more, we take out more later. And then I put in a little of this color as well. I say metallic color, but actually it's more tile gray color. This can come in handy sometime as well. So I also just use a little of them in there, as you can see. Don't need too much in here. Okay, and then pick a brush. Since I have newer brush right here, maybe just use a new one. Just so it's easier to work with, because for the old one, typically because when they dry up, I didn't really wash them with water, so they stay clogged up like this, and I need to use water to actually wash this off again so that it's become more flexible like this. When they are clean and flexible like this, easier to use. Okay, so let's go with a little black on the tips of the figures, and then a little of silver, so you can see that I have two color mixed up together on here. As you can see, just tip some like that, and then just brush out. So the reasons why I put a little of black into a little of silver is that a middle round of those two colors can give us a little of metallic color metallic gray colors. I think that's fit well for the joys. They won't be too dark like the black, but they won't be too noticeable. We won't stand out too much like the silver as well. Keep it a little more subtle colors. And if we want to raise the color, we can always go in here, touch a little of silver. A little of silver. Then put on here. That can raise our colors up a little bit. Basically just keep dry brushing. When you have a little paint on the tips, just keep dry brushing until all of your paint is gone. Oh, and then we have to make sure that the paint, the acrylic paint on the surface that we are painting, they would be dry. Not entirely dry, but dry to a certain degree as well. To specifically to the degree that we can touch them and not really get any on our fingers. But you could still feel the wetness. So we need to keep dry brushing like this until that paint got dry off to that degree. Keep dry brushing. Dry brushing basically just means we have no more colors on the tip of the brush, but we're still brushing. So it's called dry brushing because it's not wet anymore. Like that. So I already see that the plastic colors, the bare bone plastic colors got covered already. So that's good, that's positive. Then continue doing the same thing. Just a little of black and a little of silver. Mix them together and then put on the joys. Just put a little on the joys like that. We still have more color, so I'm gonna go back up here and put more color up here again. Because down to the joints on the leg, they are smaller, so they don't need as much paint as what we need for up here. So it doesn't hurt to go back here and then just put the excess paint up here. Then when they dry down, can roll down here and then start painting the actual joint down here. Those leg joints, yep, the plastic colors got covered. At least that is what we want. Pen. I just noticed that we have the middle section here, which is also just plastic gray color. Let's quickly go in here with the permanent marker black. Just pen that up with permanent marker. Try to pen all of the surface area that I can actually touch with the permanent marker tips. This waist rotation is very good. Let's rotate the waist here so I can touch more area. So they also have just bare bone plastic here. Don't like that. So cover the bare bone plastic. And let's see, rotate it again. We have some in here as well. Okay, I think we pretty much cover all of them. This plastic as well. Black. That's good. Done with a permanent marker, and then go in with the brush again. So a little of silver and a little of black. I put a lot more in here because I feel like we have more surface area in here. Okay, and then the extra pen I put down here. Put down here and then up here as well. It doesn't hurt to put more pen up here. Like that. The broad. Then down here again. You can see that I'm also painting over some of the middle blue part. I think it's fine. I'm gonna blend them later anyway, like give them a little more accents later. So it doesn't matter if some of the paint got out. So I even like paint them even more as well. Let's make the paint more even. Okay, and then go into the main choice here. Put up here a little more. Like that. Go in here. I feel I actually put a lot of pen in here. Shouldn't have put that much. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna use those excess pen and put on the arm as well, the arm joints here. Because on this arm we barely have the permanent marker color, so we still need acrylic colors on here. So just use the excess one, put them on here. They blend in pretty fast. And then go back here again. When you see that the brush they kind of dry off already, need more pen, just go back in here and brush off the wet pen here. And then go in for another arm. So same thing here. We have a lot of wet pen on our tips, so let's just put that to use. So you can see that I'm painting the jaw as well, because I don't really care about pen chipping in the jaws. Those pen actually stay on really strong as well, so it will thicken up the jaws a little more. So if the jaws are a little loose, you can actually use some pen and then just paint them up, and then that will make them a little harder because it thickens the material, so the jaw will stay in together with more friction. And then up here as well, just dry brushing to make sure that there's no wet pen. You see, you can even touch this area as well. They are fairly dry. You still have some pain when you touch them right now because they're not entirely dry off, but they dry off to a certain degree already. Okay. Pen up this area again. Yep, right now they look like this. So you can see that the arm plastic part here, they already got blended in fairly nicely with the rest of the body color. It looks darker and it's not just bare plastic that stand out so much anymore. Then we have the arm joints here. Now that remind me that we have not started with the fingers. So do the same thing with the fingers. Also just use permanent marker black. Go in for the plastic fingers in here. Just paint over all of the plastic fingers. That time, get it out of the way, and then just paint over it as well. Put it here. Then inside the thumbs here, I just see that there's a lot of place with bare plastic colors, so I just paint over all of them, basically. Oh, I just noticed that the thumb was on the reverse order, so flip that and then paint it as well. Make sure that we cover all of the colors. Everything is missing, we'll paint over them. Okay, so now you have black hand. And same thing here. Go in. Just use permanent marker and then just paint over all of the surface area that you would like to cover with your permanent marker. Paint over the joints in here a little bit as well, then paint here. Then the sides of the thumb. Just paint them over. Then the front. Over the knuckle in here as well. Like that. That's remind me, for this area we still have not painted the knuckle yet, so go in there as well. Okay, then doing the same thing, just touch a little of acrylic paint. I use a little of silver again and then just put on here. That's a little too much paint for one hand, so put on the other one as well. Paint them like that, and then go back here. Essentially cover the whole hand with acrylic colors. Go in here again. This will have a lot of going back and forth just until you see that you have enough paint dry off on the fingers. Just keep doing it until you're satisfied with it. So like that. Okay, I think the hand already look a little better. At least way better than just the bare plastic colors. Put it there, then go back here, paint it again. Okay, not too bad, not too bad at all. Paint up here as well, just to make sure that the paint that we have extra on the tip will go somewhere, and also make sure that the paint that we have on the joints up here are right. Okay, this looks fairly good. The colors match up pretty nicely. Okay, it's the face. If we put it on, this will be like that. So we have a little black in here. I'm just gonna do a little of gray and a little of black. So those one we use as touch up colors for details. So on the face here, you see that there's just a lot of gold here. The face actually have very intricate detail, but I feel like they are not showing off that much. Same thing on here, on these figures, and you have a lot of intricate details going on, but it's just not very pop. So I'm just gonna put a little of black on their fingertips over those certain area and just press them. The black is to go into some surface area, like some small crack on here, and stay in there. I feel like that can give it a little more accent. The colors won't be too even, too clear with their original silver or gold or blue colors anymore, but they'll have some accent. And that is what we're looking for. It's very subtle, but I think it's half. So basically you just paint everywhere. Basically just put a little black paint, very easy, and then just dry brush them. So you can see that all those areas, they already got their black cover unevenly. The gold is of course still the main colors, but then the black, they cover the edge area, some of the area that the paint can stay in. And it's later they make their gold not too even anymore, so it gives it a little more characteristic. Same thing down here, and then I just brush out here as well. Not much, just a little, just a little. But even a little can go a long way. And then go in here a little more. Same thing with that colors. Then you can see that the arm right now, they look very silver, but like too clean, too clean. I also put black here and there everywhere. Just dot them like that. Then I go in here, those areas as well. Just dot. Put those on those silver area. Those silver area look too clean. So let's paint over them. Like that. And then go in here with this one over here as well. Paint up the silver. I think that's a little too black, but that's okay, because we can always write off just using anything. So I'm just, because my hand are already dirty, so I'm just use my fingers, so you can see that. So as I put in the black in here and I use my finger, because my fingers cannot touch all of the surface area, so just only take off the black paint on the very upper layers, not inside the intricate details, so that the black will actually still stay inside the other intricate details. And I can apply that look, like the black is stay inside, and then the over the very bare bone outside would still be silver, like that, but just bring out the details like that. So same thing here. That's a little too much black, so just go in with my fingers, but basically just try to spread out the color. So in here I see that the black, they not enough black, so that's why I paint them a little more, and then go in with my fingers. So I can see that for like their light, the crack in here, earlier they were on silver, but now they have like black paint getting in there, and because my finger is not touching them, so the black will stay in there, and that is what I want. Just give it more accent, and just highlight the detail as well. Same thing here. So we have some crack. Those crack, they got filled up with black paint, not entirely, but some pen, as long as some pen's in there, it will look good. Up here as well, just spread them out. Keep doing the process until you are satisfied with the result. And then do that to the face too. Let's put in those colors on the face itself. The black is very subtle. I'm trying to put this black on everywhere. And then just use my fingers to rub off the barely obvious area outside. And then the black accent will stay inside the other crack. The more intricate details you have, the more area that the black pen can stay. Bit there. I'll leave the face there. Those gone area, same thing. Just use a little black and red. Then just go in here. Just go in with the pen. Just pen over them. I need a little more colors. Put here, even here and here as well. On the silver and gold, we can definitely make them pop more. Okay, so go in with the fingers. Okay. Now I'm just gonna put the part together. Got the pen fairly round ready. Put those parts together. Put the arm back. This part stay there. Put the head on. So this is our current riff. The colors on the shoulders now I think they more in line with the plastic colors over here. They're no longer plastic and they blend in with the dark blue colors of the pen on the overall figures a little more. Does black have blend out the color? Same thing to the joys over here. When we do action, of course we have to move this panel down, which will expose the color of the joys. Now the plastic colors there is gone. It's look more natural. And then those area over here, you can see that it's not bright silver anymore. Now it's have a lot of black accents on there. It's still a little black to bring out some of the details from here. And then that will be it. I look very dirty right now, but it's totally fine. You try to spread out the paint with your brush. Spread out, spread out. Same thing here, spread out, and spread out. This way they don't look too clean anymore. And then same thing, when the paint is wet, I still just use my fingers to press off. So anything that stays on will be inside some of the crack in the mold. Everything from the outside surface will be brushed off. So you can see that like those details, they'll have some black paint in there. It bring out the scope a little more. Same thing here. Just press off. And then anything that stay on will be inside the scope. So if we look closely here, you see that the black will stay in those scope right there. So here's our current riff. Let's go ahead and give him a little of weathering effect to see whether we can bring out those details, especially on his chest over here and in some others area. Let's see, the first thing I want to do is that because we have some piston details on here, I would like the piston detail to have slightly different colors. So basically use permanent marker silvers in here to paint up the piston on both of its arm like that. And then let's see, we have some more piston up here on the shoulder as well, so also give that a little touch up. The color is not entirely different from the acrylic silver paint that we put on him earlier, so it doesn't stand out much right now. But after we paint all of them up with more weathering effect, I think it will look a little better. Okay, like that. Let's see. We basically open this up and then just select the silver. I just touch a little of silver on the tips. And then spread out the colors on his main body. Because when I go back and check the CGI model for Rip, I noticed that he have a lot of weathering effects throughout his body. So try to mimic that in here as well. Okay, so basically just put silvers on and then just brush. Just a little of silver here and there, and then just start brushing. Don't make the colors stay too long as one place. Just keep brushing them out so that their colors can be unevenly spread out. We want them to be uneven so that it's more like weathering effect, like actual weathering effect from battling over the years. We don't want it to look too unnatural, because in this case, being too even will be too unnatural. Some color like that, just like some weathering like that, and then a little more silver, then go back to the chest and then brush out. Try to make it a little uneven. Down here as well. The subtle silvers here and there will be our weathering effects. It can go over all of the details, so I even paint on the word over here as well. Because we use a brush and then we just go in randomly like this, so the colors will not be even, and that is what we want. It's just gonna have a little colors here and there, but not everywhere. put it on here as well. Just put the silvers on and then just start brushing. Start spreading out the colors. This is a very simple way to go about weathering effects. Of course, it's not the best way to do this, but it's the simplest way to do this. And usually I think it's worked well enough. I'm not going for entirely movie accuracy, I'm just going for better than the original look. Just spread out the colors. Go down to the light as well. You can see that at first the silver is like a ton of silver, but then as I spread them out, they'll get much thinner. It doesn't matter when the color actually get into like the wheel or something like that, I can always clean them out later. For the matter of fact, I take off the wheels. Then just go in and then spread out the colors. And then of course any excess paint on the surface area I can go in with my fingers to swipe them off because they're still a little wet, so they come off very easily. Same thing over here. I'm just go in and then find any obvious area that's staying out and then just get the colors, to chip off the colors. Right now they are wet, so it's easier to do that, but when they get dry later on, they'll actually stay fairly strongly. A little more here, on the back of the fingers, on the back of the leg as well. Okay, just put in and then go everywhere. I've got a little on the card, so just gonna spread it out. So those area there, they have lots of details, so let's try to pop up even a little of them out. Then down here as well, you can already see that those only have like the plastic colors area, but they have a lot of details in there. Same things on the legs. On the leg is a little less details because just a lot of condensed car keyboard in here. They have very good design, so they reuse a lot of car keyboard in the robot mode. But that also means it doesn't have much detail on the robot mode in those parts. But still there's some, so we can pop some details out with the pen. And then just of course still wipe off the colors that we in the region that we don't want them to have. For example, this car part region in here, because I want to get rid of the colors in here officially, so I'm just gonna use a piece of towel and then wipe off the paint that got stuck on the car panel, like that, so it's look entirely clean. Okay, then put this back on here. Boom. Yep, that's it. And then go back to our main figures. Pick up the brush again and then start pressing here. I'll keep it a little more silver, just a little. And go in here as well. Again, keep pushing here and there, everywhere. Then just wipe off the colors. That's a little more color this time, but it's fine. Later, so go in with even more colors. still have a little paint on the tip, so I'm just gonna put the colors out to the other panels, even on here as well. On the shoulder pad, put the colors on the shoulder pad, on the arm as well. Give them a little of silver, so they have their main plastic colors with those parts like black and blue, and then they have some more subtle silvers going over their body. Like that. Okay, I think some of the details already pop out. Then that's enough with the silver. Now go with a little copper or a little rusty color. So still I have a little of color stay on the list. As you can see in here, I just dip in tiny bit on the tips of the figures and then just go in. So for this, I also just put tiny bit here and there on the figures. Just dot them here and there on the figures. Dot 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 dot, like that, and then just go in, then just spread out the colors. Of course, Rift is not very rusty, but this is not to mimic the rustiness, this is just to mimic the dirtiness that Rift have. Is have highlight out the colors or the details that we have on the figure itself, because this figure is packed with details, and we would like some of that to pop. And the best way to do that is of course to make him a little dirtier in some certain area. Because if he's fly around, we would guess that he have a little dirt stay on him as well. And there's or sand, those can be a little orange like this. And because he's a robot mode, so even if he does eventually have some rust details on him, that's totally understandable as well, right? So you can see that some of the rust detail already got in here. It's just very subtle. Really does work. I think that's work. This gonna have the details stay relevant. So as you can see here, I'm touching some of the rust as well. Again, and then just put on the back of his helmet. Tiny bit like that, and then put on his back as well. And then touch a little more. Boom, boom, boom. Just tiny bit like that. Put a little more in here, and then a little more on down here over his cross area, at the back of his arm as well. And I just spread them out. We only use tiny bit every time, so that easier to get to spread them out, and then the colors would not be too intense either. It's just very subtle on the surface, but this will be there. It's just spread them out in here as well. You see that the rusty colors already got into some of the details and changed not the entire colors, but some part could get a little rusty or a little orange in there. So the colors panels will be a little more complex. I'm trying to spread out even on a little of the sword as well. I really like these details on the back of this figure. It just looks so nice. Like turbo engine. Looks so nice. Probably that's like leftover part from his helicopter mod, I think. Or maybe from his car mod. Not entirely sure. But that's really good. It's very nice details. And I can see in here, I'm spreading out the colors anywhere. Oh, a little more rusty color got stuck on his shoulder, so that's why I'm trying to brush it out to make it not too dominant. But of course, if we think that the rusty is too much in there, can always go in with a little silver to cover that up. Right on top of the rusty colors. So it's gonna thin down the rusty colors. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and then I put a little rusty here onto the shoulder pad as well. The shoulder pad, and then of course on his arm here. Spread them out. Spread the color, spread the color. Just spread them out like that. Over here as well, the color is a little too much there, so I'm gonna spread out in other part of the body as well, especially from the front look, because of course the front is the main displays of the figures. People will see the front first before they see anything else. Okay, so that's a little too much colors on the shoulder pad. So I'm gonna try to use just this brush. Keep brushing so some of them come off. And then just use my fingers to go in so that some of the more outside outliner pad will be rubbed off in terms of color. Look at that chest. It's already got some hint of silver and some hint of rusty colors here and there. I like that. I'm just gonna use a toothpick here to pick out some of the rusty colors that got stuck in some of the part that I don't want the rusty color to stay in. Basically just rub them out because they're still wet. So it's very easy to do that. You just have to actually touch the color to actually cut it off. My finger's a little too big to actually get in there, so that's why I'm using just this toothbrush to touch their colors and rub them off for me. Like that. Not gonna be everything, but we are counting on that. The one that actually stay will be the colors that will decorate our panel pad up here. Then some of the more unnatural colors in the middle of the pad, I'll just rub them off with this toothpick. They come off very easily when you use toothpick, you know. Just like that. Yes, just like that. And there is our ref. I think it's looked pretty good. Hey, you. Yes, you. Subscribe to our channel. Please, otherwise, Megatron might kill me again. And no, I'm not kidding. He's right there. Hey, Josh. So please, subscribe. I don't want to be back in 2 pieces. Your subscription means a lot to us.